Are you suffering from piriformis buttock pain that just doesn't seem to be getting better no matter what you do? If you are, then it could be that you're making this one crucial mistake. Hi everybody, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be revealing the one mistake that people make with piriformis syndrome that stops it from getting better. Now, before we dive into the content of the video, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel using the link in the bottom right, because then you'll be the first to hear about our new content when it comes out. Now that that's been said, let's talk about piriformis pain, what it looks like, and then I'll reveal the one mistake people make that stops it from getting better. Now, the piriformis is a very small muscle that lives deep within the buttock. I'll show you on the model where the piriformis is. So if this is your pelvis, okay, here's the front of it here. If we turn it round, this is the back of the pelvis, so we would have our buttocks here, and then we'd have our thigh bone beginning here, running all the way down to the knee. Now, the piriformis starts around here. It starts on the sacrum, which is the funny shaped bone at the bottom of the spine, and it runs out deep within the buttock and it attaches onto the leg bone called the femur. Okay, so the piriformis is very deep. It's beneath the gluteal muscle, so you can't really feel it when you press in. But it's a muscle that many people find causes them pain if it gets tight and overworked. Now, it can often just cause pain in the buttock, but for some people, it can even lead to sciatica, and that is the nerve pain that you can get that runs down the back of your leg. We tend to call this piriformis syndrome. There's some controversy about how common piriformis syndrome actually is. You can see my other video about piriformis syndrome for more information on that at the top of this video. But once someone has buttock pain, there are a couple of mistakes that they make. One of them is very crucial and it stops it from getting better. Now, if you've got piriformis syndrome and you type in, "Oh, I've got piriformis pain, what do I do to relieve it?" online, one of the first things that comes up is people tell you you should use one of these on your piriformis. This is a foam roller. It's still in the packet, but to give you an idea of what a foam roller looks like, it's just a wide, thick cylinder of foam, and the videos that you'll find online will tell you to put one of these on the floor, sit on it, and roll up and down right over the painful spot on the piriformis. Now, the problem with this is it can actually make piriformis pain worse, and I'll tell you why now. So when we foam roll a painful piriformis, what we're trying to do is we're trying to release the tension in that muscle. But the problem with piriformis pain is quite a lot of the pain actually exists not from the muscle itself, but from the nerve underneath it. And this is particularly the case if you also have sciatica, which runs down the back of your leg. So when we're rolling on top of the muscle, we are doing a little bit to release it, but the problem is we're also compressing the nerve, which is already irritated, against the bone that sits underneath the piriformis. So we're squashing a nerve, and a nerve that's already irritated is not going to be very thankful for that, and it's going to make your pain worse. So if we try and squash the piriformis with the foam roller, it's probably going to make your pain worse. And the other thing is, if you try to stretch the piriformis, you often see piriformis stretches online. For some people, that also makes the pain worse for the same reason. When they're stretching the piriformis, they're compressing the nerve, they're stretching a muscle which is already inflamed and tight, and basically it just compounds the misery and it doesn't let it get better. So if you have piriformis syndrome, the primary treatment for you would be to stop foam rolling, stop stretching it, and instead you need to take a different approach which is based on strengthening. So as we said earlier in the video, one of the most common mistakes people make with piriformis pain is they try and stretch it or pummel it to release the piriformis, when really what it needs is strengthening. Now, the muscles we're trying to strengthen are actually the muscles that support the piriformis, and we call these the gluteal muscles, because when these are weak, what ends up happening is the piriformis becomes overworked, it has to do too much, and then it becomes tight, and then that is what causes the symptoms. So to strengthen the supporting muscles of the piriformis, what we need to do is add some resistance and do some movements that those muscles are responsible for. So what I've got here to make this exercise work is a thick grey band, and this band I got from online. You can typically get them from Amazon, but we want something pretty tough that is going to be difficult for us to move. Okay, so if you're in any doubt when you're trying to get a band, choose one that's stronger rather than weaker for this to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a nice firm chair, typically a dining room chair works best, and I'm going to take a length of this band, and I'm going to either buy a loop already, or I'm going to cut it off so I've made my own loop and then tie it here. Now what I want to do then is tie it just above my knees. So when I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my feet apart. So if you look at my legs now, you can see my feet are out like that and my knees are still together. Okay, then we're going to sit up nice and tall, and using the muscles at the back of the hips, we're just going to push out into the band using the knees. And then we hold for about 5 seconds and then relax the knees back in. Okay, and that's one. Then we go again. So push out into the band, contract those muscles at the back of the hips, and then relax back in. So note here, we're not directly using the piriformis to do this. It is going to be slightly active, but the muscles we're really using are the gluteal muscles. So we should feel this in the buttocks, sort of all over the buttocks really, especially in the upper buttock as well, to try and push the knees apart. Now the beauty of this is you can do this whenever you're sat down. For most people, what I recommend they do is they try and do about 15 or 20 in a row, at least 3 times a day. And over a period of about 4 to 6 weeks, they should start to notice that those muscles are taking over from the piriformis, so it doesn't have to work quite so hard and it doesn't get as tight as a result. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope that's been a useful video for you, showing you how to stop hurting that piriformis with the foam roller and stop stretching it, and instead use some strengthening, which really helps to fix piriformis syndrome at its root. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. If you want more from me, please feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below this video. Other than that, leave a comment below if you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next one.